This is a good day, guys. We got another load of logs coming in. This is a different logger than Jesse. I got a story to tell you about log hauler Jesse. But I've been busy, man. We got deliveries going out. I made some firewood today. This was all larger round split with the axis. I got it into my new dump trailer. And I have my other truck loaded up for a delivery later today. There you go. And I got a load of logs coming in. So let me see if I can, there we go. So this is this will be our first load into the back 40, guys. And we're gonna move these mats over, and we're gonna move the mats over to here. We're gonna lay the logs right on top of them. This may not be the permanent spot for them, but it's gonna be good enough for now. This is exciting though. It's starting to take shape, and I hope, you know, when we can get the rest of these mats down here, we can get this whole work area built up. I can stay out of the mud with all my machines, the logs, my live deck, and in my trailers, you know, it'd be going up and down this road here. So I'm all excited. But these logs, guys, they are just gorgeous. These are ideal for my 365 Pro. Those are all maple, ash, and cherry. I saw 2 oak logs in there. All right, but yeah, this is a big day. Real excited. And I'm glad to bring it to you guys. This is really looking good. These logs are just beautiful. These are the kind of logs that I dream of being delivered here. These are gonna be great for my machine, and I can get these made quickly. Mostly maple and ash, a few cherry and oak in there, but they're about smaller, 10-inch and under. And you know, I think that your yield probably is going to be less, but they're nice and straight, and there's a lot of them that are on this load, so I'm very excited. And just like that, it's empty, guys. So we'll get this logger paid, and I will get busy delivering my firewood. We don't have a turnaround yet. And yeah, these trucks, you need about 40 acres to get them turned around. And that might be a challenge here, but they're also all very good at backing up, but that's the way it's gonna have to be for right now. Baby steps, guys.
Let's fast forward, guys. It is a week later, right after these logs got delivered. It poured for an entire week. It just rained, and it knocked all of the leaves off the trees. We really didn't have that nice of a fall color season, but here we are. I'm back out here on this timber road. Let me turn. And this is how far we've gotten it out. This area is to be our production area, and I think we're going to have timbers, you know, out as this far, and then this would just be a big work pad. I can have the machine set out here, the live deck, and I could be moving these logs around with the tractor, just staying out of the mud. There are 2 mats that are going this way that these logs are laying on top of, and that's going to allow me to keep the tractor, you know, going with the timber, so I'm not driving across them with a load. This is what I'm hoping that we can accomplish here, guys, is get all of our production moved out here. We're away from the houses. All the ants are back away from the house, and we're just out of sight, out of mind. So this is a very chilly morning, and this video, guys, I'm going to be taking you over to log hauler Jesse's. He doesn't live too far from us. He is working on a project with his truck, and it's pretty cool, and he is excited to show you everything that he's got going on. All right, and this video took place between today and when these logs got delivered. It was just rain. So it was raining when we were over at his place, but we also got inside of the shop and were able to stay out of it. All right, guys, here we go. It is cold and it is raining. Welcome to Ohio.
And I am standing inches from the most famous log hauler truck here in Northeast Ohio, the highly reliable and dependable Max Superliner owned by Jesse the log hauler. But why is it sitting back here in the woods? Can you explain this to us?
Plant some trees around it and turn it into some landscape.
That's what it's been lately, right?
Yeah.
It's been a yard ornament.
Then caused me some grief. The transmission started chattering on the high end on 8th gear, and when it starts clattering like that, if you don't fix it, it'll blow up, and then the truck will be useless to me. So I parked it so I can use the loader to build my other truck. It was around $6,000 to take the tranny out, rebuild it, put it back in. So instead of spending that money right now, I'm going to put that money into my other truck and basically try to start making money again.
All right, so you are taking a couple steps backwards to go a couple steps forward,
I'd
right?
say 20 steps forward.
And people love I love that Max Superliner, but
Yeah,
you've always said it's because they don't drive it, right?
It's true. It's fun to look at. It's quite nostalgic.
It's nice to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's even got the old high-low beam on the floor. You got to push the button.
Oh my gosh.
Don't have the...
Uh-huh.
That's how old it
You know,
is.
when they moved that up to the steering column, I always struggled getting my foot up there, to move it. All right. Then I realized you're supposed to use your hand.
Yeah.
All right. So it is raining out here, but you are not scrapping
No.
the yellow log hauler.
No, it'll be a spare eventually. I'm going to take the loader off because the loader's pretty much been rebuilt and it's in good shape. So I'm just going to transfer that over to my...
And I've noticed, I've seen other trucks. This one's fast, that
Yeah.
loader. It is a lot faster than a lot of these other trucks.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the type of loader because it's a 28-foot non-extendable, if that makes it a little quicker or what, but it does, it screams.
All right. So you have not been hauling logs, and that's another reason, because I spoke with the logger that we had worked that deal at, and there's still loads out there that you're to get. He said they're just going to sit there until you can get back up and running. This is what?
These are the bunks I bought used a while back. They had some cracks in them and needed some reinforcing, so now that I have to get them ready, I've been working on it. I replated this here with 5/8, which will transfer the weight across. My points of trouble are mostly right here, because when he built them, he cut the pocket out and slit this is a solid piece, but it's welded. So like back here, it was starting to crack pretty bad, so I plated the heck out of it. My goal is to get a year or two out of these bunks before I can get a set built. This one was bent, so I had to score cut it here, bend it back in, and then I plated it with these diamonds on each side to hold the weight to keep it from cracking. But yeah, there's a lot of weld work, about a week of it.
This whole thing goes on the back of the truck, and this is what they refer to as the bunks. So the logs would lay in here, and the crane would be up above, and this is what you're loading your logs into. So what's this thing here?
This goes over the cab of the truck. A lot of Michigan trucks have this because that boom doesn't retract. So because it's so long, it has to stay over the cab of the truck. So the boom will come here and the clam will sit in there. But then I have to take this and transfer it to there and then weld it all together.
And this is going to be, the cab of the truck will be right here.
Yeah, it's right about where you're at.
And your crane is going to be on the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, all right, so a little bit different setup than this. This is obviously on the front of the truck.
Right.
Okay. All right, so that's the bunks. So let's go on inside because it's raining, and let's see what your new truck is going to look like.
All right.
All right, here we go. Now we are inside Jesse's workshop, and Jesse is standing in front of his new truck, guys. Let me turn this camera around. And what are we standing in front of here?
It's a 2014 5900i International. Pretty similar to my other truck, just 7 years newer and 400,000 miles less.
Wow.
So definitely an upgrade.
And this was this is not originally a log truck, is that right?
No, it was a water tanker truck. It's double framed. And the International, the 5900, the reason I like them is because the frame rails are around 11 inches tall, which gives it a lot more strength. And with hauling logs, that's the biggest trouble you have is the frame, because it takes a beating. But it's definitely in better shape than my Superliner.
So this looks to be longer than the Mac.
Well, the actual physical length I think is pretty close to the same. The Mac might be actually a little longer, which seems weird. It doesn't look that way. I thought the same thing.
But it has more axles on it
Yes.
too, right?
Yes, I'm legal with 80,000, and then my percentage I'm around 84,500 will be my gross that I'm allowed.
Guys, so this is what a log truck looks like without the log stuff, right? The bunk and the crane, everything's removed off of it.
The rest is imagination.
Oh, wow. All right. And this steel, this is all part of what you're doing to prep this to have the bunks installed in the crane, right?
Yeah, this will be just an extra help for the frame. It's an I-beam, 3/8, 4x4 is the size. It'll sit directly on top of this. And then the bunks we saw outside will sit on top of that, and then it'll all bolt together with U-bolts to the frame. The U-bolts let everything still flex a little bit, but keep it all tight. And I'm really hoping that all this will help with the loader being in the back, which is the hardest on the truck, being all the way back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was replacing parts, new brakes, new drums on the lifts. I got to rebush a couple of them.
When you say lifts, these are axles that you can lift and lower or raise from inside the cab based upon how much weight you're carrying, right?
Yes.
And it's air controlled. These airbags are what
that's
provide the spring.
Yeah, they call them an air spring, but it's an airbag. This one pushes directly down, so this is for when you're loaded. And these are new to me. I've never seen such a thing. This air can lifts through this bolt from here up, and that's how these axles lift. A lot of the other kinds have an actual airbag like this tucked away somewhere, and it's usually a little further back. So the tension here is extreme because all that weight back there has to be lifted by this one can.
Oh, wow.
So these can get wore out real easy, and this the bushings in the bottom can get wore out. So that's what I'm in the middle of. I had to repair this. There were some cracks. I plated this and welded around it to reinforce this crack because every one of them had a hairline crack. So just a little bit of work that I could do while everything was apart.
All right.
And it's got a Hendrickson Air Ride spring assist.
Oh, wow. Sounds exciting.
Well, it's a lot smoother than the Mac. So.
All right. What am I looking at up here now? Is this the rear differential?
Yeah, it's the front drive. This is your torque arm. This keeps the truck, when it twists back and forth, it takes the tension from this axle to the frame there. And then normally there's one that comes from the front back, but I think this truck's set up a little bit different. I've never had this type of suspension, but normally there's a torque arm here over, and then normally from the top of the axle that way to keep the rear ends from pivoting. But I think with the spring assist, it's a little bit different setup.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all heavy-duty rear ends, drive line, all that stuff. So it should handle the abuse I give it.
So I'm looking at all this. This is really exciting and cool, but I'm also thinking you could, if you drove for, Fred's log hauling company, this is all taken off your table. You drive their trucks, right? But what's the trade-off then being an owner-operator? Obviously, you can make more money than being a driver for someone else.
I've never been good at listening to anybody, so I had to be self-employed. But the main thing with a driver, they break it, they drop it off at the shop, they go home, and hopefully they'll have a job if the owner can fix it.
Yeah.
And that is, that's all on my hands. So I like a challenge, but it's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
And you probably drive your truck differently that you own it versus driving someone else's truck. Is that right?
Depends on how far behind I am. But yeah, you definitely try to take care of it. Like with the transmission on the Mac, when it started chattering, I'd blown up enough to know what was going to happen. So I knew I needed to park it so I could still use the loader to get this other truck together. So a lot of times people might not know that chatter is a bad thing until it explodes. Then you're just trapped on the side of the road. Then you got a $1,000 tow bill, and then $6,000 on top to fix it. Yeah.
So
I guess if I'd have just never wrecked my other truck, I wouldn't be having this conversation.
If only you could. If only trucks never wore out, right?
Rolled over.
Yeah, or that one too. Good heavens. Well, how far out are you to where you can get this to be a functioning log hauler?
Well, it might not look like it, but I'm pretty close.
Really?
Hoping by this middle of this week, I should be getting the bunks and the loader on, and then the hydraulics are the only other thing. Having a little trouble finding a kingpin for one of these lift axles, so I might have to find a machinist to make one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all in all, it should start looking like a log truck, hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday this week.
All right.
As soon as I get the bunks on it, it'll definitely start looking like something. But for right now, while everything's off, I'm trying to paint the frame. I want to paint the inside, get all this cleaned up while it's easy to get to. And, you know, when you do that, you find other crap that's broken, and then there goes another day. So.
All right, so Jesse, my F-150 has a 5-liter V8, and I'm here to tell you, it is a powerful truck. Now, what does something small like this truck have in it here?
It's ISX 15 Cummins. It's new to me. I'm not sure of the liters. I know it's probably about 10 of oil when you fill it up.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely an improvement from the E7 400 horse Mack motor. I'm pretty sure it's right around rated at 550 to 600, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't had a chance to really work it yet, so until I do that, it could be just a big red bomb.
Oh, no, don't say that.
You never know.
Yeah. I was always told whenever you see a truck like this sitting still, someone's not making money, right?
Yeah.
This truck makes money when it's going down the road.
Plus, with anything like this, it's bigger with seals and bearings. If you don't keep it moving, you'll have it sit for a month, you'll get in it, and things will leak that never leaked before.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the, aging, just like us old folks, when we see long it hurts.
Right. Well, I had noticed that there is no puddles of nothing underneath this truck, so that's probably a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, that helps. The Mac would come in here and it'd sprinkle on everything.
It looked like it rained in here.
Yeah, it's always marking its territory wherever it went. Dropping.
So, when you start getting into the crane stuff here, will you give me a call? Because I'm sure our subscribers want to watch this being built.
Me too.
Yeah, and then I mean that gets us invested into you here because you're a popular log hauler on YouTube, and we want to see how. So when this does get up and running, now how do you just get back into the swing of things? The loggers that you work for, they know that.
Well, first I'll start answering the phone. So right now I can't do much. Anybody that's calling, I can just let them know that I'm broke down, and they check in to see when I'm going to be up and running again. But once I get it together, the only way to find out is to climb in the cab and stay in there until I get caught up.
Mm-hmm. So I was out at a log yard, and there was a log hauler was there. And I was talking to him. I told him where I lived, and he goes, "Oh, did you hear that? Jesse's broken down." So everyone, all the log haulers, the whole logging industry knows everyone else's business, huh? Yeah.
Well, we're centralized. There's I don't know how many mills. There's got to be 20 or 30 mills easy locally within 20 miles. It's probably way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everybody that does this, that has one of these trucks, we see each other. We let each other know when they're out weighing us, so that we know to divert that area. But yeah, we all keep in contact, and when I break down, the people that I haul for, a lot of times will call anybody else with one of these, and then that's when usually everybody finds out you're broke down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
these things take a beating. They don't have an easy life.
Yeah, they're not hauling firewood, right? Yeah. They're hauling tree length firewood here. Yeah. So all right. So I was just wanting you guys to see where log hauler Jesse is, because I think this is really cool. And if you're liking seeing this whole process here, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, and then you'll let us know when. Yeah. All right, so we'll come back and film that too. All right, and then let's wish log hauler Jesse well, that he can get back on the road and start making money, huh? All right, everyone, have
a great day.
A great day.